Now that you know what a wireframe is, I want to show you how you can use Illustrator to build out your wireframes. If you think about the elements that you're going to be using and plan ahead, this can actually go pretty quickly. Here are some wireframes that I'm going to be using for my Dive website. I have wireframes for the small layout, the medium layout, and the large layout. And as you can see, all of the same information is present on each of the different layouts. I've just organized it a little bit differently so that it's optimized for that particular screen size. I'm dividing my website into different sections and containers. I have a header section, I have navigation, I have a call to action, I have a multi-column section that has testimonials and a multi-column section that highlights expeditions, and then I have the footer down here at the bottom. Each of the different layouts contains all of the same content, but as you can see, I've just organized it slightly differently. I also like to include any sort of callouts to interactivities. So here I've made a note and I made it bright pink so that I could remind myself that I wanted the testimonials on the small screen to switch out every 10 seconds. Let's look at how we could build one of these wireframes. I like to start with the small size. That keeps me thinking in the mobile-first approach. So I start with a small size and then I build from there. Over here on the left, I have a new artboard. It's completely blank. It's sized at 480 by about 1024. And then I have all of the actual text content that I'm going to be using in my website. In my layer panel, I have a layer called Guides, and I've already created guides for my wireframe artboards. This will help me to align the various elements. As you develop the wireframe, think of the elements that you can reuse. If there are any of these could be a candidate for a symbol. Do you see what I've done with the images here? I have a bunch of different symbols, and I'll just switch over to one of my completed wireframes. And you can see that I have different symbols that I'm using. These are going to represent the different pictures that are associated with the expeditions, or the picture for the testimonial, or my header image, or my logo. Remember that when you're building a wireframe, you don't want to actually use real photographs or imagery. You want to keep it simple, and that's why I also build my wireframes in grayscale. All right, let's get started. I'm going to grab my header image symbol and I'm going to place it on the screen. And then I'll put the logo up here in the left-hand corner. And then I'm going to grab my hamburger menu and I'm going to put that over here on the right. I want this text, "Explore your world in a new way," to appear at the bottom part. Now, because I'm dragging the symbols out after the text already exists, I'll need to use Object Arrange, Bring to Front to bring the text to the front. I'm going to continue to build in this way. The next section is going to have the call to action text. This is what I want the user to really focus on. And sometimes you may want to just include some background colors to remind yourself that you want this section to stand out. I'm going to again use Object Arrange, Send to Back. Now my rectangle is very similar in hue to my text, so let me just change that to a lighter shade of gray so we can see the text. Next, I'm going to draw a rectangle that's going to contain the testimonial section. And I'll change the color of this just to designate that it's a new area. Here's the text I'm going to be using in the testimonial. I'll bring that to the front. And then I'm going to go back to my symbol panel and I'm going to get my T1 symbol, which is the image for the first testimonial that I'm going to be using. As you can see, I'm just going to continue to drag out the symbol elements. I'll resize them if necessary, and then I'll add the text. I also take advantage of graphic styles, so since this is going to be a button, I'm going to use my button graphic style so that I can easily turn that into a button right away. As you can see, planning ahead and having these elements all ready to go makes the process pretty quick. You would just continue to build the wireframe in this way until you end up with something that looks like this. Wireframes are a great way that you can organize all of the components that you're going to be using in the website, and you can make sure that you have enough real estate for images and text. Once you've done the wireframe, making the comp is going to be a snap because you have all the layout decisions already made.